Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark, wants to give a big shout out to all the truckers that listen to our show. You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com. You are listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio Network, from our compound to you worldwide, with your host, Gary Anderson.
And we are back from the break. We have Ryan. We got James out there. I'm going to start off with you, James. If you ran into a UFO or an alien came while you were sleeping and abducted you, would you go willingly or would you resist?
Well, I'm not going to go willingly. Now, it depends on the approach. Everything's about the intent and approach with me. If they came and asked, and I knew that, you know, if worse come to worse, I could take a few of them out, if I had, or at least try to. Yeah, I'm going to do it because I can put them to sleep in a minute. But if it's out of my control, I'm going to. Yeah, no, I'm not going. If I even think that something's up, because I know I've Listen, I've researched this and talked to many people over the years, not just on here. And we know that horror stories we hear here. And anytime something ends up in my room, I don't care if it's who it is. If it's a strange woman or an alien, it's on. You done snuck in my personal space uninvited. That's not, to me, that's not good. I wouldn't do it to you. If I did it, I'd start to fight.
Now,
I'm just saying. And if you take me against your will, then listen, I'm gonna try to put you in a judo hold and take you out, or die trying. Even if I can't move nothing but my eyeballs. But that's just me.
Okay, somebody is typing they need to quit. Okay, because it's going over there, and I'm hearing about it. Now, again, if you were out just somewhere and you saw a crashed UFO, would you investigate it, James? Or would you take the risk of investigating it? What would you do, honestly?
Well, if it was crashed, I would have to cautionally. I wouldn't just jump into it because in my research, there's been many people that have done that, and they've ended up, some of them dying on the spot, some of them dying a few years later because of the radiation of it. You don't know. You don't know the pathogens that could be on there from their system. You don't know what kind of radiation or propulsion system that's there that could be toxic to us. So I wouldn't just jump into it because I could be, jumping into death. I don't know. So I wouldn't just jump into it. But I wouldn't call the military either, if that makes sense.
Ryan, what would you do?
I don't know. Like James is right though about the radiation and stuff like that. I mean. A lot of people have been killed. Since the first thing I thought of was that Cash Landrum incident there. I mean, that lady suffered her whole life because of that, all the way until the day she died. And, I don't know. I feel the same way about it. If it's going to be in my room, it's definitely a violation for sure. I mean, there's no other way to think about it, unless they're going to show me something like, crazy and magnificent that I've never seen before. So
I don't know. I mean,
other than that,
some of the guests we've had on, very credible guests, very credible, right?
Yep.
None of them said, at least the credible ones, okay, that have either PhDs or they were a former assistant attorney general or whatever. I hear more that they are evil. They don't care about us as a human. They're more interested in doing what they're doing by examining us. They don't care if they hurt you. They don't care if they kidnap you or open you up or dump your body off.
Rape you.
Yeah, dump your body off. I mean, seriously, or take off with a group of people. I mean, if that is going on, then we got a serious problem here. I just don't know. It's got me where I don't know if I would want to be involved with a UFO. I'll tell you, from my experience, what I saw that time in the desert was enough where I kind of blocked it out of my head for many years. And, more I think about it, it was a very scary experience because I don't know of any helicopter it could have done what that did. I mean, it was totally silent. And the light was so intense, and then vanished. I don't know if, because I didn't have a clock on my car, or I never wear a watch. I don't know if I lost time or not. I really don't know. But all I can tell you is I went through an experience that I don't think it was normal. And a lot of people are going through these experiences. I don't buy, though. I don't buy that they're going to come to your house. And this is going to sound gross, and I'm sorry. Why would they need to remove eggs from a woman or sperm for a man when they can just take anything, to get DNA from you? I mean, they could get your DNA off your toothbrush, for example. Why do they need your sperm? Why do they need eggs? That don't make sense. Because if we're cloning things now, and we have, we're just not making it public because, people don't like the idea. When they cloned that sheep that one time, people got upset. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I do.
Okay, so why, if they're advanced enough to come down to this planet and help, maybe even made the pyramids, it created our whole civilization at the start, why would they need my sperm or the lady's eggs down the road? All they need is some type of DNA. That part I don't buy.
That's like the CRISPR technology they have out now. Like they can literally go and slice pieces of the DNA out, the junk DNA, and put in what they want. So if you want your kid to be tall, handsome, blonde hair, blue eyes, they can do that now. Like that's literally in the palm of our hands. That's what CRISPR is, and that right there to me is alien technology. If you think about it, that's, think about 5 years ago, that was insane to hear about that. Oh yeah, you can have what you want. Oh wow, that's crazy. Well, now it's definitely there. But yeah, it's like you said, it's hard to be on the side of the aliens on this one, especially if they're taking you against your will and everything else. But yeah, but like you said though, like I said about the CRISPR stuff, that's crazy that we're even there right now.
Yeah, James, what do you feel?
Well, here's the thing. I have how I feel about some of this. I have serious issues with, I know with all the research I've done that from interviewing people, not just on here, I'm talking the past 20, 30 years, man, I'm telling you, they're putting false memories in. They're abducting people against their will, first of all. There's nothing positive about that. Yep. And they're putting false memories in your brain, and some of these people, they're against it. They're saying, oh, they're bad and bad. Then over time, I think the memories that they're conditioning their brains, that they're saying, oh, it's okay, they're telling us to spread love. But how can anything say, oh, spread love, while they're abducting you against your will, probing you, trying to erase your brain, putting false memories in? If I did this to somebody, I would be in jail forever. They wouldn't want to hear, well, I didn't know anything about human emotions or nothing, even though I'm telling them to spread love. If I don't know nothing about human emotions, who am I to say spread love? Why would I abduct you against your will and probe you?
To me, James, that right there, that positive message, I'm sorry to bring this up, but the positive message you were just talking about, I believe that's a screen memory. I really do. I honestly believe that goodness is a screen memory, because right now I'm in the middle of trying to write a book, and it's about screen memories, and I open it up with that, to be honest with you, is those messages, nukes are bad, we need to eat plants, save the cows, stuff like that, people have gotten messages. I believe that those are actually, different types of screen memories. I really do. I just think that they're pulling the wool over their eyes with that.
Well, I think what it is, right, when they abduct you and they torture you, that's what it is. You're being tortured. Come on. I mean, You're being put on a examination table. You're being probed. You're being prodded. You're having things put into you. You're having things removed from you. They don't care. But then at the end, they probably scan your brain thoughts, because they probably have that capability, So what it is, they give you this thing. Well, you know what? Spread love and peace. Well, if they wanted us to spread love and peace, and they believed that, they would sit there and say, hey, Ryan, we want to bring you on our spaceship. We want, we just want to examine you. Yeah, it could hurt a little bit, Ryan, but, we really need this. You're not going to be hurt. We'll return you back, in whole.
I'm going to say no thanks.
Yeah, well, instead, they're taking people, they're doing all this stuff, and then they put screenshots. It's like when a person commits a murder and they have somebody that's there, and they don't kill that other person, but or they kidnap somebody, right? And they're being held as ransom. Yep. And after they've been held for a week or two, all of a sudden, they are now, agreeing with the kidnapper. If they're trying to extort money from a family member, they'll join in and help to extort the money because it's called the Stockholm, and that is the same thing with the aliens. They put this in your mind. Oh, come on. If they're hurting us and prodding us and doing this stuff, why would they say, well, go spread love to everybody? Yeah, that's a slap in the face.
Exactly.
And Gary, look back, you don't have to say no names, but look back how many guests we've had on that said, oh, they've been abducted at 3 and 4 years old and it was okay. Well, stop. Imagine this. No child at 3 or 4 years old, if they were asked by an alien, hey, can we take you and do things to you? First of all, they're not going to do that. They just abduct them against your will. That is so wrong in so many ways, and then they're going to tell the child it's okay, these are positive things, spread love. No, that's so contradictory. But people, I think they get in their brains and actually convince them these things. Like I've heard grown adults, 40, 50 years old, say, yeah, I was abducted at 3 or 4 years old, it's okay. And you can ask them, hey, did they give you that question at 3 and 4, can we abduct you? First of all, no child at that age has the ability to make that decision. First of all, they shouldn't even be put in that position. No, nothing, not a man, child, alien, or anything should be in a 3 or 4 year old child's bedroom.
Or a 5 or 6 or a 10-year-old even.
Exactly.
Yeah, really.
And that's the thing, too, is I'll be honest with you. I have had certain guests on the show, James, that, I can go back and listen to prior shows, and I do. And I've noticed that some people, they embellish. They come on the first time, and they talk about when they were abducted as a child. And then they go into their whole routine from the start to finish. Then you bring them on a show a second time, and now it's kind of changed a little bit. Then you get them on the fourth time, and it's like, wow, this is not even the same interview, what we heard from any of it. People have a tendency of embellishing it. I'm just wondering how many of these people that maybe they were abducted, but maybe not at 4 years old. They could have been abducted at 16 or 20, and they had these screenshots put in their mind, they've been abducted since they were a child. Why? I just don't buy some of this stuff. I just really don't. And I'm getting, like I said, the other day, I've been doing this for 40 some years. I've heard every story about abduction you could ever hear. I've heard about and seen as much as you can see about these so-called UFOs. 99.9% of pictures I get every day are fake. I mean, yep. It's gotten way out of control. It really has. And it's really hard to distinguish which person is telling the truth, which is disinformation, which one is telling the truth. I know people like Terry Lovelace, Calvin Parker. I believe 99% of his story. I think it has been embellished a little bit. I think as stories go, they get embellished a little bit. That's human nature, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to tell the truth so badly. You know what I mean?